After experiencing my very first European Christmas markets last year in Finland and Estonia, I'm back again with friends and family for more holiday festivities, this time visiting markets in France, Switzerland, and Germany. And hey, we'll even throw in a bit of alpine skiing while we're at it. It's the most wonderful time of year, and I'm spending 6 days abroad kicking things off in Les Trois Vallées. Meaning the three valleys in English, Les Trois Vallées is the world's largest interconnected ski area nestled proudly within the French Alps. After spending a night in Annecy, France, and partaking in a very jet-lagged stroll through this adorable city, all I could muster were a few still photos and a shaky video, we began our drive into the mountains the next afternoon toward Méribel. Renting a chalet in the Alps for Christmas has only been on my bucket list for about a year, but boy do I wish I had thought of it sooner. Méribel, situated right in the center of Les Trois Vallées, is a small, family-friendly hamlet offering unobstructed views of the snowy peaks nearby. The drive through the town unveiled an array of shops and restaurants, while the close hum of chairlifts and gondolas promised easy access to the slopes whenever we were ready. Not to mention the holiday decor and crisp temperatures made for a most idyllic winter wonderland setting. I booked a VRBO here just above the main part of town and was thrilled to find how completely cozy the accommodation was. Exactly the type of place one would hope for after a long day out on skis. Our first full day in town was spent simply soaking in the views, and they were nothing short of breathtaking. There's a reason why I'm drawn to the Alps and why I return time and again. I've climbed them in Slovenia, drove the passes of Switzerland, and trudged through the icy peaks of Austria. To see those jagged landscapes turbulently pulling the earth up from its roots has given me such a profound appreciation for this planet that no other environment has managed to elicit from me. And I'm endlessly grateful to continue exploring them each year from a new perspective. We continued our leisurely day by visiting Chez Pépé Nicolas, a family-run restaurant with the most charming alpine aesthetic. Between the location and the thoughtfully crafted ambiance, I honestly think this may have secured itself as my new favorite restaurant. And that doesn't even include the food. But let's talk about the food because the fondue was incredible. Paired with charcuterie and a salad with burgers to split, we ordered entirely too much, but could not stop indulging in the delicious cuisine. We had the opportunity to burn some of those calories the very next morning with a few runs in Courchevel. I've been skiing since I was a kid, but tend to go a few years at a time without hitting the slopes, so you'll mostly find me on greens and blues, enjoying a very relaxed pace down the mountain. Despite not tackling the trickier terrain, I'm pretty sure the après life matters more than your ski skill level here, and there was certainly no shortage of venues to be found. They weren't quite in full swing yet, but I could definitely imagine the DJs and dance parties the French Alps are famous for. It's definitely a vibe, especially if you're rolling up in your private jet. By the way, can we look at this airport for a second? Is that not completely insane? A short, high-altitude runway with an 18.6% gradient makes this one of the most extreme airports in Europe. I don't know if I'd be terrified or exhilarated to fly in and out of there, but fortunately, I don't think I have enough money to ever find out. After a few days in Les Trois Vallées, it was finally time to find some Christmas markets. A 6-hour, mostly foggy, yet sometimes scenic trip through Switzerland delivered us to our next destination, Basel. With a population of 190,000, the city of Basel is located along the northern edges of Switzerland, bordering both France and Germany. Our Airbnb was located right in the center of it all and could not have been more inviting. Honestly, I wish I had booked a few more nights here just to enjoy living in this apartment for a while. We arrived in town with only 5 minutes to spare before the market closed for the evening, so we grabbed a quick bratwurst, as one does when you finally get to a Christmas market. And then, I'm embarrassed to admit this, I was convinced into grabbing a late-night bite at McDonald's. I'm learning that there's a growing number of people who enjoy trying different McDonald's offerings around the world. So we ordered the McFondue from a Swiss McDonald's, and I'm gonna say it, it was the best McDonald's burger I've ever had. Take out of that what you will. I'm going to bed. Up and out early, I wanted to take in the city as it stirred awake for the day. It's one of my favorite parts of traveling, just observing local life and wandering without a plan. Though that wasn't entirely true for today. Just 55 minutes apart from one another, we'll be spending time here in Basel, making our way to Colmar, France, and paying a visit to Freiburg, Germany, all before the day is out. Consistently ranked as one of the best Christmas markets in Switzerland, Basel boasts a plethora of souvenir stands and tasty treats spread across several locations within the city center. The festive offerings were in full swing by 11 a.m. with visitors streaming in by the minute and the scent of fried potatoes wafting through the air. Just a few feet away from the marketplace is one of my favorite chocolate shops in Switzerland, Sprungli. If you ever watched Samantha Brown on the Travel Channel way back when, she made this recommendation on her Passport to Europe series, and after trying it for myself 2 years ago, I dare say this is the holy grail of chocolate. There are several locations around the country, so keep that pocket change handy and savor every bite. The drive between Switzerland and France was an easy one as we breezed through the border and made our way into the Alsace region. When it comes to Christmas market rankings, Colmar, France continuously claims its spot among the top 10 worldwide. Frankly, that made me a little nervous for the crowds and a tad bit concerned that the glowing reviews were setting my expectations too high. All of that was immediately forgotten as I walked into the town. While the magic of Christmas adorned nearly every crevice of this historic destination, it was the colorful, half-timbered houses and meandering canal that truly defined the experience. Walking through town felt surreal, like wandering through a place that had been carefully preserved for the centuries, only now glowing with the warmth of the season. It was overwhelming in the best way possible, and I so wished I could have stayed here for a night, if only to explore the vacant streets at sunrise. But for now, I'll happily settle with a stroll at sunset, surrounded by the merriest of crowds. The Christmas market itself appeared to overflow around town. I rarely stumbled upon an alleyway lacking a vendor or local shop, and I felt that this helped disperse folks in a gentle way. We made sure to try some food and wander the streets in as many directions as we could before moving on to the final leg of our adventure. As we quietly crossed the dark and nearly non-existent border into Germany, we were eager to jump right into our final market, Freiburg. Though this particular city may not be as well known for its Christmas markets as some of the other German destinations, we were pleasantly surprised to find how lively the holiday festivities were here. The market was scattered about the city with several designated locations and featured the usual spread of boutiques and food stalls, all with their individual flair. It felt like a true German hangout with many more locals than tourists. And despite its urban setting, it came across as an intimate gathering of friends and family, sharing laughs and glühwein in the chilly night air. On the drive back to Switzerland, we reflected on the concept of 3 markets in 3 countries in one day. Was it worth it? Well, it was certainly an experience to remember, and honestly, much easier to accomplish than expected. Would we do it again? The general consensus was that if you're visiting places just for the Christmas markets, you will start to notice just how similar many of the stalls are, with the exception of food and decor unique to the region. Personally, I'd recommend picking the destination you want to explore over the actual market itself. Spend 2 nights in Colmar, for example, and get to know the town all while it's wrapped in holiday cheer. Book 3 nights in Basel and immerse yourself in its eclectic blend of cultures and Christmas traditions. Spend an evening in Freiburg exploring its decorated Altstadt, or Old Town, primed for the season. Destination over market is my recommendation, and I can't wait to see where I'll find myself in December 2026. I wish you all the very best holiday season and Happy New Year. Thank you so much, as always, for watching.